Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kinship Tavern. Glad you're here, glad you came, and I'm glad you're watching. I am your host, Uelo. Like I said, glad you guys came aboard. Now, currently, this Kinship Tavern series will be held here on the channel of Koki and Uelo Gaming. If it does become popular, I may put it on a separate channel, but for now, it will stay on this channel. So thank you for coming by. Now, also, probably wondering what is the Kinship Tavern. Well, the Kinship Tavern will be playing tabletop role-playing games, right? TTRPGs, such as Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, such and such and such. Now, however, in this first episode here, we are going to be playing Tales of the Valiant. That is right, Kobold Press's new RPG. Ever since the fiasco with the OGL, they decided to make their own, and this is it. However, the difference is here in the tavern, we'll be playing either solo or with groups. In this series, we'll be playing solo, and more of that information will be coming along during the video as I keep talking about it, right? So, first of all, let's talk about the character that we are going to be playing in this solo adventure of Tales of the Valiant. I have decided, as you can see from right here, decided to create a ranger. Why? I always loved rangers. Rangers, however, never gotten really a lot of love during, I don't know, my 30 plus, almost 40 years, maybe 40 plus years of role-playing, as well as being dungeon master, and game masters. So, I figured let's try this, okay? And since it is one of my favorite characters, I figured if nobody's going to give it any love, I will give it some love, okay? So I picked the ranger class. So why don't we take a look at what a ranger is in Tales of the Valiant. Now, rangers are unpickable explorers with mystical connections to the natural world. A combination of martial prowess, spellcasting, supernatural awareness ensures rangers excel as scouts, trackers, and hunters. Few classes provide identity as a ranger once their quarry is within sight. Rangers in a class that blends features with multiple classes has plenty of opportunities for customization. Your class feature lends themselves to creating a scrimmager, an archer, or a warrior focused on high utility magic. Rangers as adventurers. Rangers are born adventurers. No class is better suited for surviving the region of the wild than a ranger, and they are excellent survival skills and often the difference between life and death for adventuring parties far from civilizations. While rangers shine outside of combat, they also possess an impressive array of martial abilities. They may lack the brawn of a fighter or full spellcast ability of a droid, but they make up with excellent damage output and mobility, which is very good for this ranger class. So far I'm really liking what Tales of the Valiant has to offer for the ranger. Now, class features. As a ranger, you have the following class features. Hit points, 1d10 per ranger level. Hit points at first level is 10 plus your constitution modifier. Hit point at the highest level is 1d10 or 6 plus your constitution modifier per ranger level after the first level. Excellent. I love it. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go over to the proficiencies of the ranger. Now, armor, we can carry or wear light armor, medium armor, and shields. Weapons, simple weapons or martial weapons. I'll explain more of that down the road. Tools, you choose herbalist tools, a navigator's tools, or a trapper's tools. I've chose the herbalist tools. I will explain that down the road as well. Saves on strength and dexterity. You also choose 3 from the following: animal handling, athletics, insight, investigation, nature, perception, stealth, and survival. So we could choose any 3 of these skills right from the beginning. I've chosen stealth, perception, and insight at level 1. Okay? Now, there's a reason for that, because some of the other attributes that I've taken give me other skills, so it made no sense doubling up on the same skills, so I took these 3 right from the beginning. Your starting equipment. You start with the following equipment in addition to the equipment granted by your background. Now remember, this is just the starting equipment, but you get more depending on your background. You may get less depending on your background. So, we either have scale mail or leather mail. I chose the leather mail. You have 2 short swords or 2 simple weapons. I chose 2 short swords, I believe. You also get a Dungeoneer's pack or an Explorer's pack. I took the Explorer's pack. You also get a longbow with a quiver with 20 arrows. Okay? So, with that being said, let's go to the character sheet. As you can see here, hold on, let me get this going. Right? Here is the Herbalist tool. So the Herbalist tool are used to store and brew plants and other organic materials into potions, antidotes, and poisons, right? Associates ability, it goes with your intelligence and wisdom. Components of the toolkit include glass vials, a mortar and pestle, pouch for ingredients, storage, clippers, a pair of leather gloves, and a small pot for brewing, right? Crafting items. Herbalist tools can be used to make items like these listed in the herbal construction section in the adventuring gear table. We'll talk about that more later if and when we need that. It will be in chapter 6. My exploration pack comes with a bedroll, a mess kit, a tinderbox, 10 torches, 10 days of rations, a water skin. The pack also has 50 foot of rope strapped to the side. So, here's the longbow and the quiver with the arrows, and the leather armor gives me an armor class of 11, plus my dexterity modifier. Alright, so, with that being said, let's go back here, and let's talk about the lineage. Now, the lineage, as you can see, I picked big skin, and beast skin, and they are agile, right? So, what is lineage? Okay, so let's go here and check this out. Now, as you can see, lineage represents the blood ties and heritage traits of a creature. It's what you were born to, no matter what you were born. Lineage options include beastskin, dwarf, elf, human, kobold, orc, Cimmerian, I believe that's the word, and small folks, right? And like I told you, I picked beastskin, so let's take a look at that. Now, a beastskin is born between civilization and the wild. Beastskins are a variant of animal kingdom itself, sometimes called the wildkin or werewolves. Beastskin universities share the bipedal form of a human, elf, or dwarf, but they pronounce traits of sophisticated beasts such as hawk wings, a scorpion tail, rabbit ears, owl eyes, and so forth and so forth and so forth, right? Some beasts can show only slightly bestial features. Others resemble bipedal versions of the animal kings. Now, at the end, I will show you what my character looks like. I'm going to keep that a little secret for now. Maybe you guys can guess. If you do, put it down in the chat down below. Also, during the course of this, anything that I may use, websites or whatever, the links will also be down in the description down below. So, let's continue. Some beasts believe that they are relatives to high intelligent beasts that hold court in the fairy realms. Others claim that they are descendants of the lycanthropes, I believe is the word, and other magical transformed beings. Whatever the case, the beasts can share a tie to the natural world, and they choose to live among the animals they resemble. Young beastlings are often driven by curiosity and seek out other civilizations and far-flung environments. Though such wanderlust may last for years, most beastlings return to their natural homes in later life. They often act as warrens of their home territory. While all beastlings contend with primal urges, they are quick to form unshakable bonds with those who show them companion and loyalty, whether human or beast. So, that there explains my lineage. Now, for my heritage, I chose growth. But what is heritage here at TOV? So, let's take a quick look at that. Heritage represents the upbringing and culture of a character. It's what family, community, and other formally organized or authorities figures taught you. Simple heritage include hospitality, which is city dwelling, grove, which is forest, and density, and stone, which is under mountain folks. Heroic characters sometimes come from unexpected origins. Your character may have been raised among the typical community of their heritage or from a total different lifestyle, right? Elements of the heritage dedicate certain abilities you have because of your community, the group, or society. Heritage include both tangible and intangible cultural elements such as architecture, art, folklore, tradition, languages, and natural environments. Now, languages. Your heritage includes how many languages you know. By default, all characters know the common language and one other language, but some heritage and backgrounds allow more. Choose from the standard language tale or one topic from your campaign with the GM's, of course, permission, right? Now, I chose the Grove Heritage. Now, once again, my apologies for this here. I couldn't really remove it all because it became too bloated on the screen. But with that being said, I chose the Grove Heritage. Grove Heritage characters grow in a value with tradition and forest communities dedicated to living in harmony with nature. When elves first walked the world, many chose to settle in the boundaries forest. There were few first grove elves who established communities and intertwined with nature. That's what I chose, the grove, right? And well, rather than seeking domination, these communities prevent the forests they call home. Preserve the forests they call home, communicating with nature in scarce groves, and taking up arms against those who dare to claim ownership of the land. As competitive interests threaten natural spaces, all manner of creatures have come to share the value with the grove communities. Those whose heart are open to the truth taught by the forest are welcome to settle among them. So you don't have to be born in the grove, but if you accept, you are welcome, which is what something I love. Now, part of this, you have Academy Walker, which you have the climbing speed equal to your walk speed. So my climbing speed, climbing certain things, is the same as my walk speed. So if I have 30 feet of walk speed, I have 30 feet of climbing speed because it's equal to my walking speed. Nature's camouflage, you have the advantage on dexterity, stealth, right? Which explains why I took stealth. Checks made while you are lightly obscured by foragers. Heavy rain, falling snow, mist, and other natural phenomena. While in such conditions, you can always attempt to take the hide action, even in circumstances that would not normally allow you to do so. So due to this natural camouflage, I have an advantage on my stealth, while others may not, even in conditions where normally the GM may not say you can't camouflage, but I can. Languages, you know a common language and one digital language of your choice. Typical Grove Heritage characters chose Elvish, and that's what I chose because it makes sense for now. I may learn something down the road, I'm not sure, but for now, we'll stick with Elvish. Okay? So, with that, explains the heritage. Now my background. Let's go over the background. I took Homesteader, but let's talk a little bit about what my background is. Right? So, what is my background? Good question. But let's go to it. Background helps define your character's personal history before becoming an adventurer. Choose a background. Consider how to play your character's heritage and class. Did life as a soldier pave the way for you to become a fighter? Did a religious experience pull you away from the community that holds a different faith? Your background can provide some missing details and give you access to additional proficiencies, talents, equipments, and or languages, right? Which is very cool to me. Now, like I said, I chose Homesteader. You forge a livelihood in the place between civilization and the unknown hinterlands. The demand of frontier life calls out to you, but you understand the wilderness of your and your place in it, which is important, right? Because we're in the grove. So this with the grove, I think, is a nice, really nice balance. Perhaps you were weather-beaten frontiersmen done with the lumber camp, leaving them behind, a hermit who wished to quit your slave, or a young hunter ready to test your mantle on more dangerous prey. No matter, you forge your own path in the harsh wilderness, and those skills will help you forge ahead, right? So my skill proficiency is, as you can see, you get survival, and you choose one from the athletics, animal handling, or intimidation. I chose animal handling, I believe, and I'll explain that down the road. Additional purposes, you gain purposes with either a herbalism tool or navigator tools. Remember, I took the herbalism tools, so I have additional proficiency in that. Equipment and hunter's trap. You get to choose between a hunter trap, fish tackle, a razor, trap, skin knife. You don't get to choose. This is the equipment. A carnival hammock, a set of heavy traveler clothes, and a pouch containing 8 gold pieces worth of gold, and quartz, crusted quartz. So I have a pouch containing 8 gold pieces worth of gold crusted quartz. Interesting. You have, as you tell you have pitted yourself against danger in far-flung places. Few who have ever seen choose a talent from its list to represent your experience. Awareness, Dungeoneer, or Far Traveler. I've chosen awareness. And let's go over that real quick. Nope, I don't have that real quick. So let's go to the sheet. I wrote it on the sheet for sure. Now, where is it? Okay, so here is all my proficiencies, talents, and everything. So get the armor, the weapons, all this we talked about before. The homesteaders, you have pitted yourself against danger. We spoke just about that. And awareness. You excel situation awareness. When you select this talent, you gain the following benefits. When you roll for initiative, treat any die 20 roll for 9 or low as you roll a 10. So it doesn't matter what I roll. If I roll die 1 through 9, I consider it a 10 when it comes to my awareness situation. Okay, as long as you roll conscious, you can't. As long as I'm conscious, you can't be affected by surprise conditions. So therefore, as long as I'm conscious, I can't be surprised. And hit creatures don't have advantage on attacking rolls made against you. I'm going to guess because of my stealth, or also because as long as I'm conscious, you cannot surprise attack me. So that is awareness, which is fantastic, right? Now, with that being said, I'm going to have to change it because I've got 120 gold, but I do have those quartz, so that's another 8, but we'll figure that out later, right? So, what do we got? Let's go over some of the featured traits. Now, we know that we are an explorer, so we already explained that, right? But at first level, I also get Mystic Mark. When you hit a creature with an attack roll, you can Mystic Mark it as your favorite quarry. So basically, once I hit it, it becomes my favorite quarry. As long as I don't miss, it will always be my favorite quarry. So I will always have a bonus to that. You get all use when you finish, as long as you finish that long rest, right? So if I get a long rest, I get my all my proficiencies back. An extra damage increase as you gain ranger level, becoming a 1/6 for 6 level, 1/8 13 level, 1/10 for 7 level. So as I gain in ranger levels, the extra damage will increase. Okay, so 6, 13, and 17, which is not too bad. So I get extra, I believe it's 1/4 damage. So at 6 level, I get it to 1/6, which here you deal extra 1/4 damage. So here it is. So not bad. And like I said before, the climbing, my natural adaptation is agile. I have sharp claws, so which allows me to climb better and trees, rocks, and surfaces that are uneven. It doesn't affect me as much, so that is all good. So these are our traits, and more of this will be explained as we go along, as the game goes along. I will always refer back to this character sheet. So let's go over the ability scores here that I have. Right now, there are 3 ways of you getting your ability scores. So there are methods of you can buy points. You can also a standard array, right? But you get no modifiers, or rolling. I chose method 1, which is the rolling, right? Now this class provides surprises and maybe a thorough choice. It makes a character adapt to instead of making all your decisions, right? So you roll 4 dice 6, find the lowest, throw it out, then add the remaining 3 dice to your total. Write the numbers down on a piece of paper. So you do this for each ability. Doesn't mean that the first roll goes to strength, the second time you roll no. You take them all, put them on a piece of ability. After you do, if you see the second bullet point, do this 5 more times until you have 6 total, between 3 and 16, right? So a total of 6 times. First roll plus 5 more to get a total of 6. Assign these 6 numbers to the ability scores however you like. Like I was saying in the beginning, you roll them, mark them down, and then you can place those numbers wherever you like. It doesn't have to be strength, dexterity, wisdom in that order. It could be whatever you choose, whatever you want it, however you want it, right? Finally, add 2 to one score of your choice that is 16 or below, and then add 1 to a score that is your choice that is 17 or below. Okay? Now, let's go back to the character sheet. So as you can see, I put a 14 on my strength. But originally it was probably not a 14 because I added the points to it. So anyway, with that being said, I got a 14, 18, a 15, a 15, a 13, a 10. With bonuses of a +2 in my strength, +4 in dexterity, +2 to constitution, +2 in my intelligence, and a +1 in my wisdom, and nothing in my charisma. All this because of the modifier, right? So let's go over to my modifier. I believe, nope, there it is. What did I do with the modifier? Hold on a second. I thought I had it, but I do not. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, but I will put back and show you during the course of the first episode of the modifiers and explains this. I don't know why or how I made that mistake, but I did. So I will show you that in the next, before we start the next episode, right? Because this is season 1, episode 0. This is just a to get a lowdown of what we're going to be doing during the course of this series. So with that being said, it's time to talk about how we're going to be using this in a solo environment, right? And what tools I'm going to be using. So with that, let's go over to that. Here we are currently in going to be using the Death Knight Squire. It's a 5e solo game book designed for solo role playing, and it was designed by Paul Bilmer, I believe. My apologies if I messed up his last name, but this is a 5e solo game book for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Please keep in mind that Tales of the Valiant is a 5e compatible. Cobalt Press made this so it is compatible with 5e. It's its own solo game, but you can use stuff from 5e with Tales of the Valiant, and you can use Tales of the Valiant with stuff with 5e. Simple back and forth, a little, maybe a couple of changes here and there, but like I said, this is what we're going to be playing for the adventure, starting in the episode 1. Okay. Also, what I want to show you is that we have also are going to be using the Daggerheart dice website. Now the link for this will also be down below, and it's really cool because you have all the dice right here. So you can have 4, 6, 8, 10 percentile, 12, and 20, right? So with that, you could also change to get rid of the sound or change the size of the dice, as you can see, right? And by clicking somewhere on the site, it rolls. So you see, and it tells you here, I got a 16, I got a 5, I got another 5, right? Which is awesome, right? We could also sweep this out, okay? By removing it, and let's say we need 2 dice 6. Throw them out there, get rid of that, flip, and there you go. Total T, 2 dice 6 gives you 10. So this is the website we're going to be using to roll our rolls, okay? So again, I think this is going to be pretty cool to use, right? So we got our Ranger, we went over the Rangers, which is awesome. We also know what book we're going to be using, right? We're going to be using the Death Knight Squire, which is fantastic, and we also going to be using the Daggerheart dice website, which is going to help us out with the dice, right? Now, the last thing that we need to do is show you what I think my character looks like, okay? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick look. And there he is. This is who I will be playing. I haven't gotten a name for him yet, but as a beast kid, I felt that the lion look with the human look, right? So that with the claws, he looks awesome. And as a ranger, his coloring is fantastic. Now, I did use Hero Forge, the website, to create him, and I just cut and paste him. So I have an image to show you what I'm thinking of what I'm playing, but he looks fantastic, and that is what we're going to be playing. Now, the only thing missing is a character name, which I will think of one just before session 1. And hopefully, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And once again, thank you for joining us here at the Kinship Tavern. And be prepared for episode 1, season 1, Tales of the Valiant solo roleplay. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure and an honor. I have been your host, Uelo. This has been the Kinship Tavern. And once again, see you in the next one.